Hey everyone, this is Wendy and welcome back to the channel. The biggest adventure of my life by far has been founding and growing a $2 million e-commerce business. Was it easy? Heck no. Was it worthwhile? Yes. It was the most worthwhile thing I've done outside of raising 4 amazing human beings. In this video, I will share the top 10 things that helped me grow this e-commerce business. If you clicked on this video, you are either starting or growing a business of some sort, and hats off to you. I love entrepreneurs. I love the grit, the determination, and the hustle that it takes to be an entrepreneur. From someone on the other side who has grown an entire business, these tips will help you save time, save money, save energy, and have a great time along the ride. So let's get right into it. Tip number 1 is don't worry about what anybody else thinks. I know that sounds crazy. We're all adults. We don't worry about what other people think, right? Easier said than done. I know when I started my business, I kind of got some pushback from my friends. They didn't consider it a real business. They expected me to be able to come to lunches or to volunteer events or parties that I really just didn't want to make the time for anymore because I was growing this business. They didn't seem to take it seriously. When you're surrounded by people who are doing the same thing day in and day out, and then all of a sudden you start doing something different, there's a little bit of pushback. And make sure to be aware of that. Make sure to not worry what other people think, and make sure to pursue your dream and your idea regardless of what they say or regardless of the push or the teasing you might get. One thing that can help you deal with this better is to find peers, whether they're online or in person. If you can find other entrepreneurs doing similar things, you're going to get the group of people that instead of pushing back, really encourage you to go for your dreams. The number 2 tip is to start small. We all want big wins out of the gate, and I completely understand that. But when I started my business, I started small. I did not take a salary for several years, and I would just reinvest that money into the business. I did not want to borrow money and have that feeling of owing somebody and having sort of that monkey on my back, that stress of a loan. I really wanted to just organically grow that business. And to this day, my business has never borrowed any money, and I'm super thankful for that. It lets me have the freedom and the peace of mind and make decisions without feeling the pressure of owing anybody any money. So start small and grow organically. It really can work. Number 3 is to celebrate your small wins. They will be small at first. You should celebrate and be grateful for all the wins you get in your business. When I first started selling online, I sold a lot of thrift things on eBay. I would go to garage sales. I would go to the Goodwill, wherever I could get a deal. I would flip that item on eBay. It was a lot of work because I was selling individual things. And sometimes I would hit good profit. Sometimes I would hit small profit. Sometimes I would make a bad buy, all the ins and outs of that. And it was loads of fun. Then I started a grocery store where I had a renewable source inventory. I knew I could get it every single time. I listed all these items for sale. When I made that first sale selling groceries, my profit was $13. But I knew I had a scalable system. I knew I had a renewable source inventory, and I celebrated like there was no tomorrow. I went out to dinner, could only afford to buy the drinks out of my profit, but I was ready to celebrate because I could see where that was going. So make sure to celebrate your small win. Number 4 is to be humble and not fancy. Don't spend anything extra to impress yourself or to impress others. I know it's easy to get caught up in thinking you need all the latest and greatest supplies and equipment. And really your strategy when you're starting and when you're growing is to get by on the most affordable options you can. I know for me and my business, we did a lot of shipping, and boxes were expensive. They still are. They are They cost $1 a piece sometimes, at least 50 or 75 cents for a box. I used to go to the grocery store, and when they were stocking, I would ask them, hey, can I take those extra boxes off your hands? And I would bring those boxes home and I would reuse them to sell my stuff in. There is nothing wrong with that. My kids were so used to it. We'd go to the grocery store and then we'd come out with the groceries plus a whole grocery cart full of boxes. And that's the way I did it for years. I did not want to spend the extra dollar to have a brand new box. Nobody complained, not once. It's green and it's affordable. So be humble, not fancy. Number 5 is your online reputation is everything. Don't ever forget it. It is gold and you want to treat it that way. The way you can get a great online reputation is to do everything possible to exceed the expectations of the customers. Ship as fast as you possibly can. Drop a note in their package. Communicate with them really quickly through email or however they get in touch with you. You can get a great reputation. And once you do, don't let anything disrupt it. If a customer asks for a refund, don't get yourself in small arguments over small dollars. It's just not worth it. If they ask for a refund, give them a refund. If a product is super late and it's not your fault, still send them another product. Your reputation is worth more than a refund or an extra product. I see sellers sometimes getting into these sort of arguments with their customers. They always want to be right and they don't want the customer to get the better of them. Overall, giving that refund, sending that extra product to keep a customer happy the cost is very low overall. And the damage that could potentially happen to your online reputation if they leave you a negative review is very high. So always keep that in mind. Always protect your online reputation. Number 6 is to hire help as soon as you need it. I know for me, hiring that first person was really hard. I was barely making any money, but the work was starting to get a bit overwhelming. My husband encouraged me to hire somebody. I gritted my teeth and I did it. And I felt like for those first few months, I was giving her all my profits, right? It was hard to get through. But once we got into a flow and once I was able to let go of a lot of the day-to-day tasks and start working on business building tasks, my business grew so much quicker and so much better than it would have without hiring that extra person. So don't hesitate too long to hire help when you need it. That's the only way you can really get outside of the day-to-day task of your business and start working on growth. Number 7 is to consider hiring from the Philippines. The Philippines have been a gold mine for me in terms of hiring contractors, customer service agents, people to help me with SEO and marketing. And the price is right. The people are great. You can't go wrong with hiring from the Philippines. I'm making a whole nother video about just that subject. So look into that. Consider hiring from the Philippines. Number 8 is to invest in yourself. As your business grows, you need to grow too. It's so important to read those books and listen to those tapes. Attend the seminars if you can. Invest in getting yourself the knowledge, the skills, the aptitude that you need. And there is millions and millions of sources for that. You'll find your own, but there's just the classics. I mean, there's Tony Robbins. I'm a huge fan. There's Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. There's 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. Hundreds of books to help you. Find places online. Find courses or seminars in your particular niche. And if you attend things in person, that can be huge. You get around other like-minded individuals. You can learn more in person from your colleagues than you can in hundreds of hours of online study or research. So try to find your people and get with them when you can. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. It's It's going to make a huge difference in your business. Number 9 is to know your why and to write down your goals. That probably sounds redundant to a lot of you guys. People are like, yeah, I know I'm supposed to write down my goals. It made a really big difference for me. I did not originally write down my reason why or my goals when I started my business. A year or two in, I started to get kind of frustrated, started to get kind of burnt out. And one of my mentors said, you need to write down your why. And I took a few days to figure out what my why was. And once I did, I wrote it down and I posted it somewhere that I knew I would see it every single day. It made a huge difference to me just to know the reason I was doing it. And secondly, write down your goals. I don't know what the magic is, but there's been study after study done. If you put your goals on paper, they are more likely to come true by, 10 times. So spend some time. What is it you're working for? And your why only has to be important to you. At first I was like, oh, maybe I need an altruistic why. I'm going to help the planet. I'm going to help the world and the people. When it came down to it, it was really about helping myself and my kids. It was really about getting the things that I wanted at that time. So there is no reason. Your why could be a new car. You don't have to justify your why to anybody. Just make sure it rings true in your heart, and it will help you keep going with your business. Number 10 is don't quit. Don't give up. Hopefully all the tips leading to this have given you ideas and will give you enough to not want to quit. But if you're anything like me, and like so many of us, you are going to run into roadblocks where you want to quit and you want to give up. I know I have. I know I did 2 or 3 times. Seriously talk about walking away from my business, starting something new. I was tired of it. Rules were changing. You run into a lot of roadblocks. Don't give up. Instead, take a deep breath, take some time, take that vacation, and regroup. The one thing that not quitting has done for me is it has made me know internally that I can figure things out, because I did time and time again. Things would change and I would figure things out. Whether you're just starting or you're on your way to growing a business, make sure to keep on keeping on, not to give up. Those are my 10 tips for how to scale a business. Founding and growing a business has been the biggest thing I've done in terms of my self-esteem, in terms of the finances for my family. It has changed everything. I wish you all the best as you start and grow a business. Write down in the comments what you think. If you have any additional tips, I'd love to hear them. As always, like, subscribe. I plan on bringing a lot more content to this channel. Thank you so much. Have an amazing rest of your day.